Hello again, Tom Maguire. So I'm going to be reviewing Jimmy Carr's book Before and Laughter. So this is a little bit of a slightly strange one. It's kind of a part memoir, part personal development book, which I initially thought was a little bit strange coming from Jimmy Carr. I don't know why I thought that, but I just did. I actually saw the cover and thought, oh, Jimmy Carr, this could be a bit superficial, a bit trashy. I'm not really too sure, to be fair, but I was completely wrong. It's really worth a go. If you enjoy personal development, but you're maybe a little bit bored by it sometimes, and you'd like something a little bit more light-hearted and entertaining, then this is really good. So a lot of the advice that he gives from a personal development point of view isn't necessarily anything new. Anyone who's read a lot of personal development, 50, 100 plus personal development books, you'll know that there's kind of a pattern there. It's about taking responsibility. It's about not comparing yourself to other people. It's about resilience, and the list goes on. But it's essentially the same kind of things repeated in different ways. But I think Jimmy does a good job of telling an interesting story, from the perspective of a very successful stand-up comedian. And for me, stand-up comedy is, I so admire it because it's something that I just feel would be really challenging for me. Years ago, I started pushing myself quite a lot in terms of public speaking and things, and I got much more confident in that. But to stand up and to try to sort of make a crowd of people laugh deliberately, I think, I have a lot of admiration for that. So it would be a very exciting goal to strive for, I think, to be a stand-up comic. And I think that most successful stand-up comedians are definitely in a position to talk about personal development because it takes resilience and determination and discipline, hard work to get there and to be good. It's not something that you're not necessarily just born funny. You have to work really hard at it. And Jimmy Carr, when he first appeared on our screens, I don't know how many years ago now, I remember seeing him there and just thinking, who the hell is that? What a bizarre man to be on telly, just looking quite strange. But now you just kind of accept him, and he's obviously had work done to his teeth and all that sort of stuff, and he looks relatively kind of normal now, I suppose. But I remember when I first saw him and heard his laugh and the way he spoke, and just kind of thought, God almighty, if he can get on TV, anyone can. And I think he even says something similar to that in the book, to be fair. But it's good. He does talk about some interesting things. He talks about the difference between charisma and charm, which I hadn't necessarily heard before, and the way he put it was quite interesting. He talks about Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. So Matthew McConaughey being the one with the charisma, Woody Harrelson being the one with the charm, and sort of makes the point that if you imagine, or if you've seen Matthew McConaughey trying to be charming, it almost comes across as quite funny and almost a little bit sleazy, and that's the difference. I quite like that explanation. He talks very candidly and honestly about his mum and the loss of his mum, which is really quite sad as well. So it's really funny in places, but it is quite deep and sad as well. He talks about being in his 20s and not being depressed, but being quite sad, being in the wrong job. Went to Cambridge University, so he's obviously very intelligent. Went to work for Shell and just found himself in this kind of dead end job. But he makes the point that, he sort of says, how much money would it take you to be distracted from your dreams? And he says at one point, 30 grand a year was enough for him, but he actually had to kind of break away from that and take risks and risk, being fairly skint for a while to achieve his dream of being a stand-up. And it is important, isn't it? How much money and comfort does it take to keep you from achieving your wildest ambitions and dreams? And for most of us, it isn't actually that much. If we can sort of be comfortable and wake up not feeling too sort of stressed. It's how you go from good to great, isn't it? Which is the constant challenge and difficult, because we want to be grateful for what we've got, we want to appreciate what we've got and enjoy the moment, but we also want to kind of be discontent enough to keep pushing and keep working. So it's a really good book. It's really interesting. Jordan Peterson has interviewed him fairly recently, so check that out on YouTube. That's free. It's only an hour and a half, but it's very interesting. Gives you a bit of an idea about the book and some of the things that Jimmy sort of believes in as well. Yeah, I won't talk too much more about it. I love the way he says "no, dummy." He'll set someone up as saying something stupid and "no, dummy." It's just really, I can't do it obviously, but it really tickles me when he says that. It's hilarious. But no, it's a good book. I also read Bittersweet by Susan Cain recently, so I'll be reviewing that as well. I'll probably post that today as well at the same time. I'm not sure what good that does for my views when I've posted two, but I don't particularly care. I just want the content on there for you guys to look at and enjoy, hopefully. And for me to talk and ramble about the books that I've listened to and read. That's the other thing. I listened to this one. I didn't read it on Audible. It's narrated by Jimmy Carr himself, which is really, really good. He's got a fantastic voice. He's telling his own jokes and stuff, so that works really well. So thanks very much, as usual, for listening. Please keep liking and subscribing, and I'll speak again soon. Cheers.